Once Upon a Studio lands on Disney Plus today to celebrate 100 years of Disney. Here's what I think of it. On this day in 1923, the Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio was formed. And this is a momentous occasion because it's 100 years of Disney, and the company and its creations have been a part of everybody's lives pretty much for the duration. Whether you grew up with the shorts, the animated films, of which there are many, and of course, those live action features that stretch upon many different genres and variations and eras. And today they decided, and to celebrate 100 years of the animation studio, Disney uploaded to Disney Plus a new short called Once Upon a Studio. It tells the story of what happens inside the studio when everybody is left, and all of the characters from the various Disney animated films and shorts and productions come to life. And in this case, they're getting together to take a photograph of them all together. I sat down to watch this with my family. I was very excited to see it. I'd seen the trailer. I'd seen little bits and pieces kind of strewn across everything. To see the logo at the beginning, Steamboat Willie, where it all began, into this magical short, absolutely magical. I was spellbounded. And if you're a regular viewer, a regular listener, you'll know I love it when they find a way of bringing the past into the present. And in this case, they used archive material from the character models. Every character that appeared was in their original form. Sometimes when they do these things, it's like that half 2D, cel-shaded thing, like in Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. Not here. Every character that appears, from Winnie the Pooh to, 101 Dalmatians and beyond, including all the 3D characters, all in their original renderings. And that is just the start of it. The archive audio used for some of the characters, and it could have been an exercise in basically just a bunch of characters appearing on screen and saying some well-known lines. But the way in which it's been used it's for the situation. When you hear these characters talk, they're not just randomly saying lines. It's not a thing for the senses, it's not over brash or bawdy. It's just nicely inserted in to be relevant to whatever's happening on screen. And it's a testament, I think, to the animators, to everybody who's ever worked on any of these productions. It's so exhilarating, this thing. I sat there, I was crying halfway through. When they broke into song, I was crying. When I see the various characters that have touched my life, and I've watched loads of times by myself, with my family, with my wife, with my son, and each one of us was recognizing a different character or a different thing from a different place in our lives. And that is where Disney comes in. I don't think any other company can lay claim to that. And I loved the little nod to Walt in the middle. And in an age where it feels like they're trying to get away from all that, they chose today a chance to kind of prove people wrong from that perspective and pay tribute to the artistry from the people who started it all. I noticed a picture of Ub Iwerks in there too, and everybody who's worked there along the way, showing those character models that would have been worked on by, the nine old men, and all the people that have come through those doors, that from the color graders to, the sound designers, absolutely magical. What I really liked about it too was that you saw the main, what I would call the main stable of Disney characters, your Mickey Mouse, your Donald Duck, your Goofies, and they put them in positions of authority or in comedic positions because that is where they started. They started with shorts and they built up from there. So to make them main characters of this thing and give them almost like just moments, it was just magical is all I can say. And I'm trying not to be too spoilery because it really does have to be seen to be believed. And when you have this current situation where we haven't had a 2D drawn movie for 10 years, 12 years, something like that, since Winnie the Pooh, I think. And there they all are, 2D characters alongside 3D characters working seamlessly. And I think it is time after Wish to go back into 2D animation and maybe rediscover, almost like a rebirth as well. And obviously a lot of these characters had all been made into live action versions, but to pay tribute to their originals and to get some of the voice actors back too, to sing a line or say a new thing, and the little things. I mean, I noticed the Toad from Ichabod and Mr. Toad was in there. These are characters that could have just gone by the wayside, and yet they've taken notice of everything. Every character in there, whether it was a big, massive, success or a tiny little flop, was in there. I feel, just magical. I'm lost for words at how magical this was. This really was a great tribute to Walt Disney, to the people who came afterwards, and I am just lost for words. And lastly, the thing I noticed, so 100 years ago, when the animation studio started, they were making Alice in Wonderland, which was a 2D, an animated live action hybrid. And so what this is an animated live action hybrid. They could not have picked a better thing to go with to show the technological advance that actually in Walt's day, right at the start, it was like one angle with a character and that was seen as amazing. This is a moving live action scape that moves around and rotates, and we've got 2D characters, we've got 3D characters, music cues. What a way to show the innovation as well as the storytelling, the characters. It's the innovation as well. So yeah, that's Once Upon a Studio. It's available on Disney Plus right now. If I had my way, it would be there forever. But do try and check it out if you can, just in case, they decide this is way too good, let's put it somewhere else. But yeah, what a way to celebrate 100 years. Thank you, Disney, for that brilliant snapshot of my life and a lot of other people's as well. What did you think of Once Upon a Studio? Do you think it did the Disney company justice or not? Let me know in the comments below.